because the tush push has been available to every team in the NFL. It's not only available to the Eagles, contrary to what some will tell you. And now the league's attacking it because the Eagles are doing something well. Imagine if throughout sports history we had that attitude and how the fairness just isn't there. The Warriors had, at the same time in their primes, 2 of the 10 best shooters, number one, 2 of maybe the 5 best shooters to ever live. The league didn't go, we should get rid of the three-point line or change the three-point line because those guys are better at shooting threes than my team. Because that's not acting in fairness. They're not acting in fairness. I don't give a damn if it's the Eagles or any other team. If you're doing something that everyone's allowed to do and you do it better to change the rule solely because one team's good at it, that's not acting in fairness. And it's a direct attack on the Eagles themselves and their excellence when they do it. And I don't really think there's another side to it. We'll discuss this today at 610-632-0975. But when we heard about it during the offseason, because the way it worked with the Eagles, obviously, things went so long, and then we were right to spring training with the Phillies literally 3 days later. So now the Phillies start, and now you get these league meetings with the draft being, 3 weeks from Thursday beginning. And it's this compacted thing, and they're coming in and going right away with, now that we're here, let's get a vote. Mike Tomlin's fraudulent behind goes, I'd like to look at it from a player safety perspective. Yeah, 0 players got hurt. That came from the NFL. Troy Vincent, not from me, not from a local beat writer, not with anybody with any pro-Eagles agenda. Troy Vincent, who was ruled on many things actually against the Eagles, came out and showed last season 0 players got hurt during the tush push. 0. There were no injuries. There is no player safety concern. It's only whining and crying. Back when the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers with Magic, were winning all those titles. Magic ended up winning 5 titles. Did they try to slow the game down by rule to stop the Lakers from doing it? No, because they were better at it. Imagine, go further back, when the forward pass first became a thing in NFL. You got to go way back. No one said, well, because one team can pass better than the others, we should just outlaw it because it's stupid. It wouldn't be smart. And I'm disgusted by this starting off right away. It's one thing when the Packers do it with their whining, but it's when guys that are supposed to be, quote, tough football men, like a Mike Tomlin, who might have Aaron Rodgers. You deserve Aaron Rodgers. You want to act like a fraud? Get a fraud quarterback. And when all these teams, it takes 24. Now, apparently there are some teams that have come forward and said they're not going to vote to ban it, including the Houston Texans, apparently the Chargers. Harbaugh probably wants to run it. He's an offensive line guy out there, naturally. But the fact that this happened, Andrew DeCecco is in for Ricky Bo. This isn't a situation where they're worried about safety. This isn't a situation where we're worried about fans. This is solely about taking a tool away from the Eagles because they're better at it than everyone else.
I think what you're seeing now, Ty, is the league's salty, and they don't have a way to stop it, so they're trying to stop the Eagles from running the play. As you said, this play is available to all the teams. The Eagles just happen to run it more effectively than any other team. And to say that it's player safety that you're worried about, I mean, that's garbage. It's pure garbage because there's no data that shows that anyone's gotten injured from that play. So just say that we need to do a better job of defending it and stopping it and just call it what it is because I don't see another side to this. I think that it's salty behavior from the NFL, and it is kind of disappointing for a league that they pride themselves on being physical and trying to stick with the times.
Yeah, and the part that bothers me more is sometimes I think people try to be contrary because it's unconventional, but a lot of things are unconventional at first. You see, at first, things look a little unconventional, but you're not even giving it enough time. You see, maybe some other teams will perfect it. The Eagles will not always be as great at it now as they are. It's the perfect combination of the right guys doing it, the right quarterback. But we don't do this with other times. Like Tom Brady had, at one point, the highest quarterback sneak percentage. Even though he's not a tremendous athlete, he had a good offensive line. He was a savvy guy that kind of had a feel for it, and he was 6'5". Mm-hmm. So he was hard to stop. Just because something's difficult to stop doesn't mean it's illegal. And we had talked about this during the season when there were rumors that they were going to try to stop it. But for that to be at the top of the list, all the things with the NFL, and are they thinking about the fans when they do this? My issue with the NFL, I love football. I love football. The NFL does a lot of things, in my opinion, that no fan asked for. I wish they would do more things with the fan in mind. The NFL, there's a lot of fans that don't love those Thursday games. A lot of fans that they like prime time, but they think the games might be a little late on the East Coast and things like that. There are other things that fans care about. But to start off with something that the majority of fans are not watching a game because of a tush push. They're not. And the player safety thing. The next time the NFL cares about player safety will be the first time. It'll be the first time. They don't care about player safety. These guys care about money and money only. They don't care if these dudes can walk, see, read, or anything when they're done playing. They solely care about them for a finite amount of time. And that player safety thing is malarkey. Because find another time where they actually followed up and did anything for player safety. And don't tell me protecting the quarterback. They're not doing that for the quarterback. They're doing that for themselves so that the quarterbacks are healthy late in the season for the playoffs so that you want to see the top quarterbacks. They want Mahomes and Hurts in the game. They don't want some backups in the Super Bowl. That's why they protect the quarterback. They don't care about the quarterback at all.
And they can't say the Guardian caps either because nobody wears them.
No one wears them.
If they really cared, exactly. If they really cared about it, make it mandatory.
Like they did at some point with the helmets in hockey, for example. It used to be players with no helmet. I know Savannah doesn't remember that. We remember that. Like,
I do, absolutely.
There were some players with no helmet.
Yeah.
And then they eventually grandfathered it in like, okay, every new player has to wear it. But there was still players. Flyers had a guy, ended up hitting his head on the ice, got knocked unconscious. Ended up having to start wearing a helmet. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want more of this content, make sure you like and subscribe. And you can do that kind of over here if you want more of the best show ever.